Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nottingham Forest Career Mode, episode number 9. After a week off, which was my fault due to being lazy sod on the weekend, focusing more on playing Skyrim than FIFA. We're back! Yeah, here we go, we're back here again. And we're going to start things off with the game against Huddersfield, as you saw there in that little table. We are quite comfortably out in front. Things are looking good, and the good news for us is as well the January transfer window is going to open up midway during this episode. We're going to look to make a few transfers here and there, which is going to be very nice indeed. Now, I'm going to start things off by saying thank you to the person, he always knows who he is, who recommended I sign a few more subs, and then proceeded to give me a list of said people to sign. So, there you go, thanks for that, and we're going to start things off with Bendtner missing. He's fallen off a cliff. Bendtner has legitimately fallen right off a cliff, and it is disgusting to see. Like, nice passing here, it's basically a one-on-one. Bendtner usually when he takes his first touch, that would have been in the back of the net, but no. Bendtner misses that opportunity and makes himself look like a silly sausage. That's what he looked like. Anyway, Osborne runs nearly all the way across thing and then passes into Grant. He runs nearly all the way down the wing and then just doesn't want to take the credit for the goal, doesn't want to take a little solo goal. Instead, he passes in and Grant knocks in and then gets petrified by the presence of Lord Bendtner. Look at this, makes such a great run, some good touches, passes it along the foot with a little bit of a chip to it, and Grant is there, and it's 1-0. Passed into the near post. Grant was always going to put that in. There you go. It is 1-0. Huddersfield look to come back here, and that is a great save by Wellenreuther. Having to test himself in order to make that save. You're going to see a replay over here. Very good shot, but Wellenreuther just able to make a nice jump there and keep it in his hands. Right, we move on here now. Huddersfield really looking to try and get someone going, looking to try and make an equalizer here. And Naki Wells out of nowhere makes it 1-0. That was, I mean, he jumps apparently out of nowhere. They find him on the head, which was a great, vision by the man who crossed it in there, and Wells was just there to make, I believe they said it was his 8th goal of the season. However, it wasn't 22 appearances, so I'm not too sure how to view that as a season so far for Wells. But there you go, Wellenreuther was beaten. There wasn't really all that much he was going to do. Now we move on, it's crunch time, we're desperately looking for the winner here. Pereira finds Bendtner, who passes it into Kennedy, who knocks it in the back of the net. Bendtner, of all people, getting the assist in that goal. This is, I don't know how he does that. I think I just accidentally clicked X instead of circle. But there you go, he passes it along the box, and Kennedy runs around the defenders there. I don't think the defender picked up that he was there, and he puts it in the back of the net, and in basically the 90th minute, we were able to get the win thanks to Kennedy, and that is good news because things are about to get bad for Kennedy later on in this episode. But he gets the winner for us, and he just about gets us 3 points. It was a very close scenario, but Bendtner and Osborne getting the assists today, and that was what mattered to us. Now we're going to move on. We versed these guys, I believe, was it last episode? Or no, I think it was last episode we took on Newcastle in a very intense 1-0 outing. Now we're here to take them on again, this time at St James's Park. We're 5 points clear of Aston Villa, however, so a loss here will not sacrifice all that much to us, but a win at St James's Park and the double over Newcastle would be key for us when moving forward in this season. So here we go, there's the lineup for Newcastle. Here's the lineup for us as well, looking pretty good as per usual. 4-1-4-1 with Asambalonga up front due to Bendtner being quite a bit tired. So here we go, we can move on, we go in a little bit into this match. Diarme completely dismantles the defense, and it's a surprise they didn't put that in the back of the net, to be honest. Very disappointed for him, but then Atsu there gets taken right down. Referee calling it to the spot. Blatant penalty, apparently. It took me a few viewings to realize that this was a penalty. I can't tell who that is. But he runs in and, he just decks Atsu down to the ground. Unfortunately, Hobbs, there we go, the man committing that foul. So here we go. Mitrovic steps up for the penalty. Wellenreuther makes the save, and that was such a frustrating goal to give away. Wellenreuther, looking at it, it was an easy save, so the fact that he didn't handle it makes it all the more disappointing. He should have caught that in his hands. It wasn't going at enough speed for him to cause the bounce, and then for it to just fall to Mitrovic on a platter like it does is just so annoying. You see it here. Not a powerful shot. Wellenreuther makes the save and then just makes that spastic dive after it. So, yeah, as you can tell so far, though, Newcastle completely dominated us here. Mitrovic goes one-on-one again. Lehigh doesn't test him, but thankfully he knocks it wide. Could have been 2-0 there. And this is our pretty much only shot of the game here. Very late on, Kasami gets a beautiful header. And it's a shame that it didn't go in the back of the net. And that causes the end of the game. It's a 1-0 loss for us. That's, I believe, our 4th loss of the season. However, Newcastle did play like a much better team on the day. We played like a very, very weak team, as it seems as if we have done even against Huddersfield, and perhaps we deserved the loss that we had. Anyway, we're looking on here, and we're looking to buy some youth, and centre-backs is kind of a problem where we're struggling. We're struggling to get a lot of first-team players out, and our centre-backs are also quite old. So here I can see I looked into, this is one of the people recommended. I believe his name is pronounced Delicte, like delete by Matt Hardy, but there you go. We move on to Mamadou Decore. This was also on the list as well. Basically, youth who I wasn't expecting an incredible rating out of him, but there you go. That will do for the team, because we've got people like what's their name? Grant and Cash in the midfield. They're like 61 and 62 rated, so 64 is fine by me, plus it's young, unlike people who are in their 30s in that defense. So here we go. We got a game against Barnsley. You can see we haven't gone with an entirely strong team, and that's because this was just a day after the game against Newcastle, but thankfully we've got people like Osborne and Bendtner in the team, and there's the problem I was talking about with Kennedy. Suffers an injury there and taken out. Osborne getting the goal, however, to put us 1-0 up. Velios comes on for Bendtner. Bendtner was having that bad of a game, apparently needed to be subbed off. Ruben Neves, who finally came back from injury, makes it 2-0, and the bad news regarding this as we come in for a 2-0 win is that Kennedy is out for 4 months with an ACL injury, which is very disappointing to say the least. Anyway, you can see Borussia Mönchengladbach wanted a bit more money for Decore, so decided to give them the money that they wanted. And now we move on here. Delict, well, he was accepting the offer, and he wanted to apparently be a part of the squad. You knew he was going to be good, considering he was an Ajax youth. Moving forward, we don't know his rating, but 1.9k a week, I'd assume he's got to be roughly around the same as Decore. Squad rotation player, and now we wait to see if there's a response to that offer. But meanwhile, we got an FA Cup game to play against Fleetwood Town. So basically, we're going to advance to the next round of the FA Cup, which is all well and good by me. So, Fleetwood Town's lineup there. If memory serves me correct, these guys are in League 1, I want to say. So, got that going for them. They at least got that going for them. But, yeah, it gives us confidence, and it makes us feel a little bit more like we're going to get an easier win here. Could have put out a weaker squad looking back at it. Decided against it because we really needed the 3 points. Could have played Velios instead. Tried to play Bendtner. This is now the 3rd game that he's starting this episode, and we're looking for just a goal from him here. Get a shot from Chris Cohen there. Easily saved. Quite a shot in retrospect. And now, Bendtner missing a header. He's just, I don't know what's happened with Bendtner, but he's reached the winter, and he's just started to slow down a little bit. He's not the normal Bendtner we're used to, and I hope that changes soon. Hashtag make Bendtner great again. Anyway, the Fleetwood Town giveaway penalty. Eastham with a nasty tackle there. I believe it was onto Pereira. Oh, no, I think it was onto the right wing, whose name I can't pronounce. There you go. There we go. Yeah, it was in. Going outside the box there. 2 foot to the back. Could have been a potential red card. Bendtner steps up. Bendtner scores! My golly! How did he do that? Look at him. He's running around now like a stabbed rat, celebrating a penalty. Yeah, I mean, it was a better penalty than the one Mitrovic scored earlier on, but it was still a penalty. But there you go, Lord Bendtner being lifted high like the religious figure that he is, as he scores another goal for Nottingham Forest. Surprisingly, so far, we're not that many days, actually. We're about 10 days into the transfer window, and there have been no offers for Bendtner, which is a shame. Anyway, we get a pass here into Ritchie, the left back, with a stunner of a goal. I don't know how he managed that, but in the 82nd minute, he puts home a beauty goal there, and I was very, very happy to see that. Look at that. That is a wonder goal by Ritchie, just knocking it into the back of the net there from that angle and into the bottom right as well. The youth left back, when his first game he got sent off, making a bit more of a name for himself here after that. Anyway, Fleetwood Town make it 2-1 here with a nice shot. Wellenreuther again should have done so much better to save that, but it was a one-on-one situation. He had a lot of net to deal with. Wellenreuther didn't really do an incredible job of closing him down, and he got it to Wellenreuther's right, to our left, and there you go. Cole knocking it in. Actually, Wellenreuther does get an hand to it, but he can't stop it from going in and making it 2-1. Thankfully, that would be not a worry. We'd hold on. Bendtner would miss another shot, and we'd win 2-1, moving on to the next round. So, only able to keep a clean sheet against Barnsley. Doesn't give me much confidence heading forward regarding my playing ability, although I haven't played this game in about a week. But those things happen. So, you know, it was good, though. I mean, we had, what, 6 points out of 9. A loss to Newcastle, which was kind of deserved, and a win in the FA Cup, moving us forward. So, Doucouré was, well, there you go. We finally get into wages with him. 3.8k, which means he might actually be a little bit better than Delict. I haven't checked his rating yet. I don't even know what his stats are or anything like that. I will be giving you a squad report, though, to start things off in the next episode, as it's halfway through the season. Anyway, here is the table as we end off this episode. We're still on top. I believe it was by 4 points. Burton Albion have finally won a game. Celebrate, good times for them. But there we go. We're still on top. Villa 4 points behind us, so things looking a little bit more safe for us as we head into the second half of the season, and that's giving me a bit of confidence. But that's going to win this episode of Career Mode. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.